Up the ra. Alright, we're gonna give you some waiting music. We'll probably be about 10 minutes, alright? While everyone's getting in. While everyone's getting involved. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Take some seats. Tell your friends. Share the link. You guys always say you're gonna share the link. You never fucking share the link. Share the fucking link. And be prepared for some bad music. Some shit music is about to be playing. And that's just the way it is. Up the ra. To everyone in the chat. Up the ra.
you're not here to stay. Try so hard to let you go, but I know I'll never break away. Wish that I could find the strength inside to take my things and walk away. Try so hard to let you go, but I know I'll never break away. I know that I will lose my mind if you tell me you're not here to stay. Try so hard to let you go, but I know I'll never break away. Wish that I could find the strength inside to take my things and walk away. Try so hard to let you go, but I know I'll never break away.
All right, 2 minutes, folks. Just 2 minutes. I'll be there. Relax. Are we in? Are we working? What's going on, guys? How's it going? How is everybody? What's up? Guns out. Sun's out, guns out. Welcome along to the Wizard of Pod. As always, I'm your host, Colum, Tyrrell. Sorry about the wait there, folks. Sorry about the wait. A lot of the fucking, everyone in the chat was getting impatient. Someone did very funnily, if that's a word, which it is not. Someone said, what if this was just like a bit? That would be very funny if I just created a live stream and then just played gay elevator music, which isn't the worst music. The people that listen in the audio in the future, it's not the worst. Let me play a little bit of that music just so you guys know. In the future, this is what happens when I'm live streaming. I'll set things up and then there's like a weird little waiting room time. So rather than having to just sit there in silence, I play some music like this. Listen to this. It's not horrific. What about this? What's this? Listen to this. Ooh. Oh! Damn! Here's a 50-year-old man now about to fuck his wife for the first time in a couple of years. Listen to that. Ooh. You don't get down like you used to. But you still love her. You love her. You guys have both let yourself go. But tonight's the night you're gonna crack open a nice bottle of Malbec and you're gonna fucking lick her big old muff. That's not terrible music. That is love-making music for old people. For people in their 50s who can just about do it. You're not into it. But you're not into it. No one's into it. People are in their 50s, they're fucking their wife, they're fucking their husband. Ugh, no one wants to do that. But they do it because, you know, we're animals. We're fucking animals. You blue chew it up, you lube her up. Lube and blue. It's a lube and chew night on a little bit of this music by a guy called Ron Galinas. So there you go, that's what I put the people up to while they're waiting around. And they always hate it. And sometimes I play music that people send to me because it's license free. Look at this. This is some other music that I've also played. And we'll get to it. Let's check out this music that I used to play too. But it was too aggressive. Everyone wanted to fight. There was way too many slurs in the live chat. So listen to this. This is also free music. These are your options. Boring or this is the opposite. This is two 14-year-olds about to fuck. He's about to slip it in her ass because he doesn't know the difference. This is some fucking. Check out this music. So these are your options while people are waiting around. You ready for it? Boom, boom. I remember that one too. That's not horrific either. That's as good as it gets. That's as good as it gets. The audio man. There's an echo. What's going on? Does an echo going on here? How could there be an echo? Is everybody in the chat saying I'm echoing? How is that even possible? I wasn't even. Hello. How could there be an echo? I don't know if. Let me check. I don't know how there could be an echo. I think it's actually just a dream concept when we're dead the whole time. Everybody's going nuts. Apparently there's an echo on the audio recording. Was there an echo with the music too? Let me turn that off. Yes, so I'm echoing the whole time? How do I fix that? I don't know how to fix it. There's no echo on this end. Video, here we go, look. Hold on. There we go. I fixed it, did I? I fixed it. Live on air. I think I just fixed it. Did that work? Let me know in the chat right now if that worked. Because I guess there was no echo on the music. There was no echo on the waiting music. All right, by the time you cat up, are we all back in? There we go. We fixed it. Yes.
Get the fuck out of here.
Technology king. Collie the technology king. Look at that. Bad hand. Wanking hand. Look at that. Don't even work out. I'm a beast. Let me be a lesson to you about how far you can come as a stupid motherfucker. It was just a button, but there was a button creating an echo. I don't know how that was set up. I didn't do it. I didn't press the echo button, but we fixed it. You guys should literally look at me like as an inspiration, because my mother drank heavily during pregnancy. You know, that was just the way it was back then. It was 1989 in Ireland. People were boozing. There was like health warnings that says, hey, look, any more than 5 pints while you're pregnant, crazy. They said, don't do it. If you're pregnant, and they say, if you're pregnant and you have 6 pints, make sure someone else drives you home, because you won't be good enough. That's just how it is. And you know, look at me now, from rags to riches, wearing a cutoff shirt like I'm recording a podcast in the back of a pickup truck. So how's everybody doing? Welcome along. Thank you very much. This is it. By the way, happy birthday to me. Can we say that? This is, thank you, 31. That's it now. I'm a full man. I'm a man. Still can't really grow a beard, but I'm a man. There's no denying whether or not I am a male. You know, a senior male. I felt like I would have had a castle by now, but that's what, you know, here we are. We're growing. People have hit me up. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. If you do want to do something for me for my birthday, all you got to do is subscribe to this YouTube channel. Head over to YouTube, press the subscribe button, press the little bell. You'll get an alert when these things go live so that you can be in the chat with that great music. That's all you got to do. Doesn't cost you anything. It takes a couple of seconds. And if you're listening on the audio, maybe leave a review on iTunes. Just go over there, write review. I don't care how many stars there are. It is. Make it funny, make it not funny, whatever. All that stuff does help towards this show, and that's it. That's all you got to do. By the way, we do have the Patreon. The Patreon's growing. The Patreon's doing pretty well. The Patreon is doing pretty fucking well. So at the end of this episode, we will, the last half hour goes behind the paywall. So you'll get this episode for free for an hour, and then for $1, you'll get the last half hour. All right? It's a fair fucking swap. It's a fair little deal. If you like it, you know, hey, look, he's worth an extra $1. He's worth an extra $1 to keep hearing this guy do his shit. Everybody saying happy birthday. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you. Everyone saying thank you. Happy birthday. I appreciate it. This is the oldest I've ever been doing a podcast. So we are, and this is the oldest you've ever been listening to a podcast. We're all experiencing this at the same time. Did you ever think about that? I just blew your mind, did I? I just blew your fucking mind. That's your mind going nuts. Wait a second. Let me make sure that the computer's still on. Alright, so welcome in. So that's it. Go over to the Patreon. Patreon.com/Colum Tyrrell. Please subscribe. Give whatever you can. Reach down the back of your couch. Grab some dollars. Throw it this way. We are building some stuff. I'm just talking to someone today. I think I'm going to have a full-time producer on here. So we're going to start having clips. That type of shit. You know, just taking a little bit of the weight off me. Hopefully they understand technology, because I'm a fucking moron. I just did 15 minutes of me with an echo. I had no idea. And I sent my computer. We're back on the main computer. I don't know if you guys watched last week or listened last week or listened to the Patreon during the week. My computer just fucking shit the bed. I tried to fix it. I made it worse. I brought it to a guy. He was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, what the fuck is wrong? He's like, I can't even begin to fix this. And I was like, I don't know. I just plug things out, push things back in. I'm too stupid. Just take it. Just fix it. And he's like saying all this like RAM. You know, Tim Butterly of Dad Me is a very nice guy. He I can feel him get frustrated with me. Sometimes I'm on the phone with him. I can feel him just like going, dude, just put me on FaceTime. Point to me. I'll point at the thing. He's like, oh yeah, can you remove the RAM? I was like, what the fuck is that? I don't know any RAM shit. What does that mean? Roll action memory or something. That's all these computer geeks. Well, Tim's nice, but you can feel him. I'm just like, I'm too stupid, dude. I don't know what you want from me. I'm too stupid. And my hands are like fucking baseball mitts. I'm trying to fucking get into all these little cracks and I can't do it. I'm not into like the fine detail of furniture and all that stuff. I can smash things. I'll smash a wall, rebuild it, but I'm not like finesse and stuff. You should see what happened to my computer. But the last time I tried to change something, I couldn't get my hand in, so I ended up just taking a fucking pliers and then or like a snips and just cutting the entire top off the fucking. You'll see it's on the Discord. You can be a member of the Discord if you pay $1 and join the Patreon group. I ended up just pulling like a tin of sardines, just ripping the entire top off so I could shove my hand in. Then I had to drop it off today to this guy who's a computer geek, and he's just like he's like annoyed with me. I dropped the computer to this guy, and he's like, "What the fuck? Why would you do this?" I was like, "I don't know. I'm stupid, dude. I'm willing to pay you money. I'm willing to fucking pay you the money just so I don't have to deal with this fucking headache. I drive trucks. That's what I do. I will drive a truck for 2 days so I don't have to spend 25 minutes trying to fix the shit inside my computer. That's crazy." And he's just talking about shit that I don't know. He's just saying all stuff about memory and processors and hard drives and memory boards and motherboards and, you know, the ins, the outs, the screws. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I was like, I don't care. I was like, I just don't fucking care. So eventually he didn't even do anything. He said he just plugged one thing out and there's a chance that this might be fixed. I don't know yet. He said there's no real way of testing it. You just gotta wait. So if this live stream shuts down, if this shuts down live, we'll know he didn't fix it, but we don't know yet. We'll just have to see what happens. So fingers fucking crossed. And they're very cheap. This is have you noticed this with computer people? They're cheap. Computer people are fucking just the IT nerds are just so cheap about everything. They'll be like, oh, you wouldn't want to. They'll be like, oh, you might have to replace that fan. And you go, oh no, I have to replace the fan in my computer. And they're like, oh yeah, that'll cost you. And then you Google it, it's like $40. It's like a new fan is $40. And they're like, oh, gee, wow. You wouldn't want to do it? Like that guy, he goes, I'd have to run a lot of tests on these now. It'll take me a couple of days. We'll have it running. And if anything, so if this breaks again, I got to bring it back to this guy. And he said, then what he'll do is he'll keep it for a few days. He'll run a bunch of tests. It will just be on all the time. And then eventually he'll get to it. He said it will like take 2 or 3 days. He's like, but then you're talking like 100. He's like, you're talking like $140 then. You're talking 100. I was like, fucking take it. You could have charged me 600, you fucking idiot. You know all the insides of the computer, but you don't know how much I will pay you so I don't have to deal with your nerd shit. So I don't have to learn anything about these computers. I've just accepted it. I've reached my wall in abilities of self-production, and that's it. So hopefully whoever comes on board to help with this podcast going forward, it'll just be a little Jamie. That's all I'm getting. I'm just getting a little Jamie. A little Joe Rogan Jamie. A little twink. That's all I need is like a little sit-in twink. Some guy who shows up. We go through some shit before we talk. He makes sure my computer works. I'll talk to him sometimes so that it's not complete madness. I'm not gonna lie, I'm going insane. Sitting in this room for hours like this with no one responding to me, I am losing my mind. I am going crazy. Because every time I have a real conversation with someone now, it's like I forget. It's weird. All you guys are in the chat, but that's just fucking saying slurs. That doesn't help me. That's not a conversation. I can't hear your voice. I just see the letter N showing up all the time. So we're crushing. It's going to be a big summer. Season 2 is going to be upon us. We're going to have all our guests. That's going to be season 2. We're not even a year old, this podcast. We're going to have season 2. It's going to be all the guests. Season 3, we'll have a fucking sit-in producer. It's going to be big. It's going to be big. I'm saving the East Coast of podcasting. The East Coast podcasting is shit. Alright? Everyone's just doing it on a couch. Everyone's sitting on a couch. Just laughing at each other's shit. I know it's more sane for you to have two people laughing. But it's what are they laughing at? That's what I hear people say to me. They go, oh, you know, it's weird to listen to a guy and there's no laughter. Yeah, I know that. But then the stuff that you listen to, where it's just two fucking cackling retards arguing about, like, the Knicks or something. Is that what you want? Two dopes talking about pastrami? That's what you're into, and just laughing at each other's dumb jokes? So there's a fucking balance. And I'm out here to try to save the East Coast. I'm going to bring West Coast professionalism. You know, imagine Bad Friends, where Andrew Santino and that little Asian boy, they roast each other's shirts. So imagine the professionalism of that, but in New York, and you're talking about cum and discharge. That's it. Well, you need some sort of a cum town style degenerate fucking retards sitting around doing impressions and like, you know, what if Batman was actually fucking Scatman, you know, and you know, whatever come down to us. So imagine that funniness with a good camera, a good microphone. I think that's it. I think we're onto something. I think that's the sweet spot. So just somewhere in between Bad Friends and Cumtown is like the perfect thing. Possibly. I don't know. We're winging it. But please, leave a fucking review for my birthday. Subscribe to the fucking channel. It's all free. It doesn't cost anything. Gay Bill and Billy Goat. I don't know what any of that means. Alright. So, yeah, welcome. What's going on this week in the news? I feel like I'm late to this now. That's the way these news cycles go. It's like you've got 14 minutes in this world to respond to something. You've got 14 minutes when some news breaks to get that on your podcast. You need a daily podcast in order to get stuff, because 2 days later it's gone. Something else. I haven't even had time to give my opinions on the Jews versus the Arabs in this fucking tournament they're having out there. The tournament of countries. The underdogs. That is the Gaza Strip and Palestine versus, you know, just fucking the Lakers, I guess. Is that who the fuck is Israel? Who the fuck would Israel be? They're like the Yankees. They're like the fucking. It's like the Yankees. No, who's just a team? I guess it's the New York Nets. The New York Nets just have it all. They have all the players. They've got a bunch of money. They're elite, and it's like they're playing the fucking New York Liberty. That is. Is Palestine. Palestine is the New York Liberty, which I think is the girls' team. I'm not sure. I've never watched. It's always a bad name in female sports in this country. Other countries, by the way, don't do that. They just sort of have Manchester United. Like the way you have the Washington football team. That's just the way they have it all over the world. You guys showed up, rah rah Tigers and all this, which is sad. That is a
Get the fuck out of here!
Moment. That is huge. That is a huge thing that you guys just have normalized. Where all your fans go to games and do a chop like you're a Gator. Let's go Gators, chop. What? Let's go Hurricanes. And the Tigers, the Hurricanes. I guess I'm the goat. So you are the goats. So I guess that you know, checkmate. I'm gay too. But they have all those names, and then you get to fucking the female sports because they ran out of them. All the good ones I've done, the Grizzlies, You've got the Gators, and then you get to the women's, and it's always just, it's like an emotion at that point. It's like, you know, oh, it's the California headaches. They just mention weird, it's just weird shit. They just start coming up with, like, you know, oh, it's the Sacramento empathies. We have so much empathy for everyone. Someone said normalize not being gay. That's fair. Let's do it. Let's normalize it. Let's normalize not being gay. So what I can't even remember what was. So yeah. So here's our opinions. Like, what do you guys think? You know, being from Ireland, we were raised to, and we'll get into it. Let's get into this Israeli-Palestine conflict, which is a very beautiful way of describing, you know, a genocide, I guess. You know, Jews, don't trust a Jew. Just don't trust them. They're too smart. They will outsmart you. They can change shape. If you don't look, if you lose eye contact for any, they will have changed shape. This is true. Every time I'm in a room with one, I never let them out of my eye, because if you do look, they're gone. It's too late. You've lost them. We learned that in school growing up. There's just techniques. You know? You need rosemary. They're allergic to, they have an allergy to rosemary juice for some reason. It's just something in their Dracula-like blood that they have. So, you know, never trust a Jew. And so, and I feel like, you know, and that sounds anti-Semitic, but I think it's, you know, sometimes it's better to be, you know, wrong. So it's better to be wrong and apologize than it is to be, you know, right and lose your life. Does that make sense? So it sounds anti-Semitic what I'm saying. I know it sounds that, but you know, fuck all the Jews. Let's kill them. That sounds fucking. I'm fucking with you, but I wouldn't. If you are looking for some information on Israel, I wouldn't go to a Jew. Right? That's just, I think it's fair. When two people are in a fight, they're always like, "Oh, that cunt." Are you kidding me? What do the Israelis even say? They just go, listen, we were in Israel, we didn't really like it, we moved to Europe, Hitler gave us a bit of a bullying, Hitler, whatever happened there, and then we came back, and some cunt has taken my spot. It's like it's in a rest. What are the rules here? Did you leave something there? Is there a sign? Is there a fucking sign on it, like in a car park, like a reserved, no standing, Jews only? The Arabs just had, there was a fucking empty village. So like, yeah, let's just take this place. And then the Jews came back. No. We actually own this in the old temple. In the Old Testament, it says that we own this land. And they're like, all right, well, listen, there's plenty of room for everyone. The Arabs were like, whatever Arab is. They're like, plenty of room for all of us. And the Jews like, sure. And then they just fucking destroyed the fuckers. So there you go. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm almost proud of myself for how little I know what the fuck is going on over there. I couldn't even pick out a map. It's just east. It's east of anything that matters. That's the way. It's like west of anything that matters and east of anything that matters. That's where you'll find all this shit. It's like a whole part of the globe I've decided to just not care about. And I can't. I just can't keep caring about this stuff. It seems exhausting. What's the deal with all these woke people? I know woke comedians. I was talking to a comedian the other day. She's not even woke or anything. And she's trapped. She's trapped with the liberals. She's just a Brooklyn comic. And she doesn't give a fuck about any issues. But every day she's tweeting, hey, Palestine, and share the link, and live donations, and Black Lives Matter, and Asian Lives Matter too, and hey, you know, there was a fucking earthquake in the Philippines, let's raise money. And she doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't give a fuck. It's like, of course you don't. That's just too many things. You know what? Pick one. That's kind of just a fair thing, I think. You could be a good person I think you can be a very good person, and you can be a vocally good person by just saying, look, my thing is like rape, all right? And, all right, hold on. That came out wrong. Totally. Let's rephrase it. My thing is like a rape crisis center. You know? That's my thing. I raise money for the rape crisis center. I promote it. I tell people not to do it. You know, that's my thing. And then people come over to you and go, well, what about AIDS? And you're like, well, fuck it. I picked one. But now it's like with social media, there's no such thing as like, you can't just, because like back in the day, you'd be like, well, I don't give a fuck about cancer. I'm dealing with Down syndrome kids. That's my thing. And then they're all like, well, you know, fair enough. You're spread too thin. You don't have enough money. Nowadays, it's like, you better make the post. I couldn't even believe it. I'm a liberal guy. I believe in all these stuff. Nearly every social change, everything that's progressive, I believe in it. I just couldn't ever live like a hostage doing open mics in Brooklyn. And then I show up one day and someone goes, you didn't post about Palestine. What's all that about? Are you a fucking Nazi? And you'd be like, well, if I support Israel, how would I be a Nazi? What are you even talking about? Look at Ari's YouTube. You showed Tony's last week. It would be good to show Lewis's. I'll show Lewis's. I was there last night. I witnessed it live. What a crazy event. I'll talk about that later. Someone in the chat says, cancel Joe Rogan, sweet clickbait title. I don't think that's clickbait. I'm about to talk about the Joe Rogan affair. So I don't know. I don't even know if I'd recognize a Palestine. Why are the Palestinians called Palestinians and the Jews are like Jews, but it's never like Arabs versus Jew, right? Is it Arab versus Jew, or is it like just local Arabs? As far as I know, they're all fighting out there, as far as I know. I haven't picked. It looks like there was a ceasefire, which is what always happens here. Which is what always happens. A lot of these Jews too, they're like, yo, fuck Palestine. They don't have food. We've got food. What food has a Jew got? That was a pretty good lyric. What food has a Jew given to you? What are they? Bagels? Bagels ain't shit. I could live without a bagel, no problem. I could definitely live without a bagel. If someone told me you're getting rid of Jews, and because of you know, but you'll also lose bagels, I'd be like, if that's fair, that's a compromise. I could do it. What would you miss if the Jews were gone? I'm fucking around here, by the way. This sounds all very fucking Mein Kampf right now. But let's be reason. Lox? What's that? Just salmon? Lox is just smoked salmon. That's not a Jew thing. That's every country. I don't know what the difference between lox and smoked salmon is. Look at this. Haven't had a bagel in years. Well, laddie, fucking da. You know that? Matzo ball soup is just a wet bagel. Yeah. Matzo ball soup. What's that? Just a bit of bread and some soup? You didn't invent that. The Jews are allergic to everything. Asthma would be gone. Think about that. It would be nice to separate, like, because when people say Jew too, they mean like a DNA thing, right? They don't just mean religious, you know, like Catholic, Protestant, Christianity. All this stuff is like come and go. It's not really in your fucking blood. But for some reason, the Jews are all like related, and they all look weird, and they're usually weak. Somehow physically, they have a bunch of allergies, except for the Israelis. The Israelis are like they're like the hot Jews. Well, I think there would be a less anti-Semitism in the world if all the Jews were just fucking badass. Is that Krav Maga? Krav Maga? What's that fucking martial art that all those Jews out there in the Middle East do? Krav Maga. Was 14 years old. They're all ripped and tanned. They look like the fucking Chippendales. They look like some sort of Middle Eastern Chippendales out there. They're all just big army bros who are just ready to stamp on a little Palestinian's neck so that they can get a nice little house. Just a little nice house out there in the Palestinians. I don't know. I guess, you know what? I reckon, what about Israeli women? Are Israeli women hot? Let me have a quick Google here, because I don't know if I've never been there. I don't know if I'll ever be the Israeli women. Let me see what they're like, because if you think Jew, you think of kind of a chick. She kind of looks like me. She's either too hot or she's too cold. You know, it's just like not a good vibe. Women of Israel. Let me see if I can find any images here. Let me just Google it right here, because I have a computer. And that's the whole reason we have this thing set up, which is a good chance as to how this will. If there's any hot Israeli women, you can DM me on social media at Colum Tyrrell on Instagram or Twitter. Let's see. Israeli women hot. Let me check this. Israeli one. Oh, Gal got it. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is an Israeli. I didn't know that. Let's check out what we can see here. Look. Wait, I don't get it. Is every person in the army is that all they do? Someone said Natalie Portman. This is. Look at this one. Oh wow. That's some good. Look at this. Is every Israeli woman just in the fucking military? They're all trying to beat me to. Wow, holy shit. That's that's Swedish. No way. How come do they never leave? No wonder they don't want to leave. They've got such good land out here. These chicks. Holy shit. I'm about to fucking pay for some fucking Jews OnlyFans. Alright. Are they all? Someone tell me in the chat. I don't understand this. So I'm Googling this for anyone that's listening. I'm Googling. All you got to do is Google Israeli women hot. And they're all army chicks. They're all just like half army. This is like some sort of weird military barracks or strip club. Sexy video surfaces of female Israeli fighters. Alright, we're clicking this one. Oh no. What's it say? Continue without disabling. Absolutely. So I just found a video here on the New York Daily News. A video something of female Israeli soldiers making the rounds this week in the latest scandal rocking the Israeli Defense Forces. Okay, is that the late? This is back in 2013. So I think they've had a couple of fucking scandals since. This is all propaganda. Don't be fooled. Oh no. No, I'm not interested. Alright. All these things click up. Let me see if I can find this video. Some girl in an underwear. Abroad. Look at this. This is a fuck fest. This is just a big fucking Jewish. Not a foreskin in sight. Nice, dude. You know what, man? I feel like if Hitler had seen this level of fucking sexy Jew, Gail God, it's good. They must have some. I guess I didn't know much about it, but they must have a mandatory get in the fucking army thing. Holy shit. Let me go back to this one. You guys missed this girl. Look at this one. I don't know what. We got some top-notch Jews here. There we go. Someone come up with a good name for some sort of a Jewish beauty pageant, and we'll have it here. And I'm sure they have good personalities too, but I'm in a relationship, so I don't want to fucking talk to these women. Is that fair? I'm sure they have great personalities. You know what we done a bond over? How many rocks we were able to throw at an old woman? What across the fucking border? An invisible border? Is that what we're gonna do? So I don't know. I don't have it. Apparently it's a ceasefire again. You know, it's about time. I feel like just something needs to go. And I don't think, like, I feel bad. I do feel bad for Palestinians. We were raised in Ireland to believe they're very similar to us. The English are the Jews in this situation. The Irish are the Palestinians. Now, we fucking got most of our freedom back. There's still a little bit up there in Northern Ireland, the north of the island. Still a little bit of trouble going on up there. But we got out of it. So we were raised to like Palestine. You'll often go to an Irish soccer game. There'll be a Palestinian flag flying in the fucking sky. There used to be Confederate flags till very recently too, which is not a lie. They just, in Ireland, in Ireland stadiums, they just put a ban on the Confederate flag not too long ago. There was a lot of Irish, and I think it was more of as far as I knew, it was just a colour thing. The Confederate flag was the same colour as County Cork. So when they would play sports, they would just bring it because it's kind of cool, you know? So listen, first you get rid of the fucking Confederate flag. Next, we won't be allowed to have, the Nazi flags. No swastikas allowed. So, where does it end? Where does it end? It's interesting. So pick a team. Arabs versus Jew. It's interesting. It's like when you watch two people you don't like fight, right? Two fighters go toe to toe. You're like, I don't care who wins. I'm just here to see someone get a lot of pain. But no. I don't think genocide is good. All jokes aside, I'm not pro-Jenny here. We're not a pro-Jenny pod. You'll find that somewhere else. We're not pro-Jenny. This is a pro-stupidity podcast in terms of just, I don't know anything and yet I talk like someone asked me to talk about it. Someone said you see a lot of Confederate flags in Brazil too, but that's not the same colours. Brazil's green and yellow. Anyway, so we'll see. People are saying there was a ceasefire today with that. So there you go. That's what I'm trying to say. How fast the news goes. You don't even get an opportunity to express your opinions on this stuff. It would be good though. It'd be nice if they reached a conclusion. I don't think it's going to be nice. I don't think they're just going to go, all right, let's just leave it at that. You guys get this little bit, we get this little bit. No, it's going to be, and, it'd be nice if they just got rid of the whole thing. Jews and Arabs, all of Israel, all of Palestine, just blow it up, and we'll be done with it now. Just have a nice big jacuzzi out there in the Middle East. Forget about it. I have no opinions on it. All of this stuff was me just talking shit, by the way. That's all I ever do, is talking shit. I'm not being offensive, am I? I'm just saying I'm pure ignorant. It's a fucking... How are you supposed to believe if the Jews do run the media? Why are there so many anti-Palestinian? Why is there so much, pro-Palestinian fucking sentiment out there? What's going on? It's like, what? Wait, are we led to believe that there's Jews who are going against their own people, or maybe they're doing a double mindfuck? I don't know. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. I'm trying to figure out. We need a pros and cons list. Also, I still haven't seen any suggestions for a good Jewish beauty pageant. Some sort of something that hopefully doesn't have a slur, but there must be something. Like, not a bagel. Babe-gul or something. Like it's a bagel but Babel. I can't figure it out. Other people are better at puns than that. J's. It's a J competition. This will disappear in 2 months, someone said. Will it? I'm just fucking around late at night. I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to take this down. I might go behind the paywall. I may not stay up on YouTube forever. I'm just trying to say we need a pros and cons. Because I don't know. My Jewish friends, and I use the fucking term friends loosely, would argue that they're in the right, obviously. And then Arabs, which I haven't actually talked to any of them, but according to social media, they all feel like they're getting a raw end of the stick. Someone says bagel. That was great by Bit Fitness. Mukbang. Mrs. Heeb. Beauty pageant. Booters. Booters? Is that a slang? I don't understand the booters thing. Someone has to spell it. beauty pageant. I thought you were gonna ask for reading material. Oh, here we go. Miss Jumerica. All right. Someone said Israel is a very complicated issue and far from our dumbasses to figure out. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. So we're not trying to come at this with a logical, political, hear both sides of the argument thing. We're genuinely just going to break this down tonight, live on YouTube, into just, if we had to get rid of one, and I hate that the fact that Jews are allowed to just use their religion as a race, because it's like, it's not a race, you're not biologically a Jew. You're just an ugly white person. You're not biologically Jewish. All right. Does that make sense? Even though they all look the same, I don't get it. They all kind of look like a Woody Allen, some sort of scarecrowy haunting figure from the shadows. All right. They all should just be perched on a cage somewhere. So we're not even tackling it. We're just being facetious for the sake of it, and we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Now, pros about Jews. Woody Allen. Some great comedians. Who's a great comedian? Woody Allen. Don Rickles, maybe. Mark Norman. There's a lot of good Jewish comedians out there. So, I don't know any Arab comedians. Who's an Arab comedian? Mo something? That guy's pretty funny. Mo. You can pick it up with a blood test. Support the one that's cheaper to support. I don't know. It's interesting because what are we going to lose? With halal food? If the Palestinians gone, is halal gone? Baba Ganoush? That little ball? What's that called? The little ball of fucking beans or what? It's always some sort of beanie, ricey bullshit. Right? It's just like pigeon. It's just pigeon rolled in beans. Everywhere you go with these countries, it's just always a pigeon that tastes good. Some sort of, Mohammed, as someone said. I think that's the guy I'm thinking of. The guy that opens for Chappelle. He's great. So it's Mohammed versus Mark Norman in terms of Arab versus Jew. Here. It's like a Celebrity Deathmatch. Do you remember that show on fucking MTV? Celebrity Deathmatch, and they'd have like the Spice Girls versus Oasis or something, and they'd all just fucking punch the fuck out of each other. That's what we need here. In the blue corner, a religion spanning over 28,000 years, with a record of 48 wins and a Holocaust. It's the Judans, and everyone goes. He's at the camera. Just some fucking rat boy at the camera. Shadowboxing. In the red corner. Smelling in. Incredibly bad. We've got the smelliest fighter. Oh man, maybe I will take that episode down. This episode down. Jesus. I'm fucking with you. I don't know. You don't want people dying. You just want it to be over. You don't want the pressure. That's all I'm saying. You don't want the pressure of fucking this shit. Alright? Someone said Mark is gay, not Jewish. Alright. There's a person in the chat here called Giraffe Complaint Box who just keeps writing in Irish for some reason. And did someone just say Mia Khalifa is the she's like the sexy Arab girl? Where's she from? But she's like from Saudi Arabia or something. I've never heard of anyone from Palestine. Jesus? Where the fuck was Jesus from? Nazareth? Where the fuck is Nazareth? Let me Google Nazareth. How do you even spell that? Nazareth. Jesus was born. There we go. Look. Nazareth is the largest city in the northern district of Israel. Wow, Jesus was from this country? Nazareth is known as the Arab capital of Israel. In 2000. Wow. The inhabitants are predominantly Arab citizens of Israel of whom 69% are Muslim, 30% are Christian. Oh, so this goes back a while. This is 2020 years of something, right? People said New Brunswick. Right. So Jesus is from Israel, that I guess was previously considered Palestine for a little bit. Do we? This is great. Sometimes I'll read through like old bands and stuff, you know, like the Rolling Stones, and then I find out where every fucking then I find out where every person is from. So could we do this with the fucking 12 apostles? There's a way of finding out every single city. Couldn't even name Matthew. Where's Matthew from the Bible? What city was he born? I thought Nazareth was like a fictional place, right? Oh no, Bethlehem. Bethlehem, is that the one? Is that still a place? Jesus, look, everyone in the chat, Jesus was born in Bethlehem, but he was raised in Nazareth, alright? Let me see, Bethlehem, where is that? Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Bethlehem is a Palestinian town south of Jerusalem in the West Bank, the biblical birthplace of Jesus. It's a major Christian pilgrimage destination. The birth is marked by an inlaid silver star in a grotto under the 6th century Church of the Nativity, which says manger square, blah, 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 blah. Fuck off. Alright, that's all we can do about religion for now. I bored myself to death now, finding out that Bethlehem was a real place. I thought that was like, you know, Atlantis or something, you know? It was just like, it was there, now it's gone. It's still there. Like, you can get a postcard from fucking Bethlehem. A little manger. You follow the North Star. Get yourself some little fucking... Get down to Nazareth, get yourself a fucking bomb to the back of the head. Don't sleep in any orphanages. You'll be fucking destroyed. You'll be fucked. Someone said Matthews from Tipperary. Very funny. Good, very good. Give one back to the crew. Alright. So what do we want to talk about? So what I wanted to talk about was Joe Rogan's cancellation. He was in trouble again this week. I don't know if you guys saw it. Let's get this up here. Let's get it up. Shut up. Joe Rogan. He's always in trouble though, isn't he? You know, how can you do 5 minutes of anything? How can you even be funny these days without getting in trouble? If you're gonna be honest. This is the way it is. The cancel culture strikes again. And it's not even cancel, it's just a backlash because some guy said something. It was like, well. So there's articles left, right, and center. Here we go. Here's my best friend Joe List. Give it up for Joe List, sexy Joe. Alright, so this is the article that went, this is the clip from the Joe Rogan show that went viral. Let's listen to it.
You can never
Thanks for hanging in.
be woke enough. That's the problem. It keeps going. It keeps going further and further and further down the line. And if you get to the point where you capitulate, where you agree to all these demands, it'll eventually get to straight white men are not allowed to talk.
Right.
Because it's your privilege to express yourself when other people of color have been silenced throughout history. It will be, you're not allowed to go outside because so many people were imprisoned for so many years. I mean, I'm not joking.
No, I know.
It really will get there. It's that crazy. You know, we just got to be nice to each other, man. And there's a lot of people that are taking advantage of this weirdness in our culture, and then that becomes their thing. Their thing is calling people out for their privilege, calling people out for their position. You know, it's fucking crazy times.
Yeah, most definitely.
Shut up, Joe List. Shut the fuck up, Joe List. That's like my favorite part of this whole thing. It was poor Joe List. Oh, poor Joe List goes on this episode of Joe Rogan, and you know, nearly everyone dreams of a viral moment. You want it to be funny, and it's fucking Joe Rogan rambling about horse shit, which is what a podcast is. And poor Joe List just about to go, well, here's my, and then we go, shut up, white guy. You don't have a voice, you geeky looking fuck. Shut up, Joe List. It's a shame. You should have been wearing merch. You could have done something. It's a fucking tough one for Joe there. You don't want to be the guy who's just sitting beside the viral moment. You know what I mean? It's just it's poor. It's a poor form. So a shout out, because I did that before. I was on Real Ass Podcast one time when Louis J. Gomez was talking about some scandal bullshit, and it kind of, someone clipped it and went online, you know, and it's just like, I'm part of it, but I'm not part of it. I'm just there. And then everyone's like, who's this fruit? There's some open micer. Oh, some open micer. Oh, have I? Well, what are you then? If I'm an open micer, what the fuck are you? Are you Dave Chappelle? What world are you in? You didn't even get close to that. Oh, he's just some fucking open micer. The audacity. I would go insane. Dude, if I was a fucking professional athlete and I had to just hear you fucking dribbling morons go, oh, how'd you miss that? You gotta score that. You go, you do it. When was that? Some guy went out and punched the fuck out of some fans. I love seeing that. When an athlete loses his temper and attacks a fan, that's the best. Because everyone's doing it. Talking shit, you're screaming at the TV, going, you gotta score that, you gotta score that. Oh, really? You fat fucking dope from Long Island? Just a big fat Tony. Big pregnant looking man from Long Island screaming at his TV, going, oh, I could have done that. You couldn't have done fuck all. So but one time Lewis did something and I was part of it, and everyone was like, who's this fucking faggot? It's not my fault. It's not my fault. You don't know who I am. So I don't know. How would you take that? I think he's probably right to a degree. He's also speculating. He says, you know, if we just keep going this way, we'll get to a point when anyone who's a white man won't be allowed to speak. And everyone was like, well, everyone did their hacky response. They went, oh, really? He says as he's worth $100 million. And he's on the biggest platform in the world. Oh, you're gonna get cancelled? I was like, well, he's not talking about himself, is he? You fucking dope. Who's he talking about? Just because he's a perfect example. And I'm not even one of these people. I don't even give. I think white people should be less. Actually, I think white men should be talking less for sure. So should like black chicks and Asian kids. Everyone should be a big. We should have a limit on the amount of words we can say in public. Black women will be gone by fucking 9 o'clock in the morning. You know, just save it out. So, yeah. And everyone's like, oh, you did it. The same argument is so funny because it's the same one that, like, I guess white people, white supremacists, I guess, or at least conservative, to for a better word, when people say, oh, yeah, you know, black people have it tough in this country, they go, oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, fucking, what's that big fat black bitch's name who's worth $1 million? Oprah. They go, oh, really, Oprah? Oh, really? And LeBron James says something. He goes, oh, you're oppressed, LeBron James. You're worth $400 billion. Oh, you're oppressed? And that's the same. And then everyone's like, well, no, obviously that's not what we're talking about. And that's what they all do with fucking Joe Rogan. They go, oh, you're and he's like, no. And first of all, Joe Rogan's kind of brown. So he doesn't really get it. But everyone fucking went mad at fucking Joe Rogan. Went viral. They got to cancel him. How could you even do that? It's a wild world where you can't even imagine. They have you in a position now where you just got to be walking around going, I need to say I'm sorry. Sorry for all the shit that other people did. I'm not apologizing for it. I don't give a fuck what happened in this country. I didn't do it. I'm not here to fix it. Alright? I'm not here to fix it. I just got here. I think we should have reparations. We should have reparations for anyone who fucking moved here before 1980. Everyone's arguing about the computers and the thing. So there you go. So let's see a response here that we got from CNN reporter Don Lemon, who I don't even really know who that is, to be honest. But he's called him out. He's made a point. We'll see what he has to say.
About straight white men. There's a lot I can go on about, especially about straight white men. You're aggrieved now? Okay. No one is stopping Joe Rogan or any other straight white man from expressing themselves.
On Don Lemon Tonight Tuesday, Lemon called out Joe Rogan, who said on his podcast recently that he believes we may be heading toward a society in which straight white men will be silenced.
If you get to the point where you capitulate, where you agree to all, because it's your privilege to
agrees there is a
There is an important debate right now about cancel culture and wokeness, questions about what either term even means and what happens if it goes too far. There are legitimate questions about that. But acknowledging the oppression, discrimination, or differences of others does not silence anyone else.
Rogan received backlash last fall for statements he'd made about wildfires in Oregon, and more recently for an anti-vaccine comment he made, both of which he apologized for. And Lemon pointed out that Rogan was unaffected by either situation.
No matter what he has said, he has not been silenced. He has a huge megaphone with millions of loyal listeners, all of whom, every single day, say whatever they want.
See, this is it. So that fucking idiot Lemon there, he's wrong. He's just as wrong as if he was to go on that fucking radio, on CNN. If he was to turn around and be like, listen, black people are being mistreated in this country. You know, and then everyone starts going, oh, really, you? You're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to say that because you're a multimillionaire. Imagine seeing his home and then I'm trying to use his fucking Mercedes as an excuse as to disregard his opinion. Joe Rogan's not talking about himself. He's talking about me, a plumber who wants to use slurs in a nightclub. All right? That's who he's talking about. He's talking about me and you at the gym. One day that I don't come for us at the gym, we're going to have to some sort of a black privilege. You know, I don't even give a fuck. You can take it. And I don't even necessarily agree with everything that Rogan said there. I just don't like the backlash against him using the same tactics. What's wrong with people? This is how they do it. I don't even like Rogan and I'm furious. It's crazy, right? That they all came at him like this. There's a couple of words that you can fucking say that get people going. And it seems like that. You know, I think we still have a pretty good. I think Whitey still has a pretty good. I think we're too fast, we're too slick. You're not gonna catch us. But poor Rogan, man. Who fucking, when Stanhope was on the podcast, he was talking about how big Rogan got, and then he's like, and there was a politician, or it was like, I can't remember who it was. There was a senator of Texas or something who said, like, I'd love to go on Joe Rogan's podcast. And Stanhope told me, go check that episode out. Stanhope said, oh yeah, I texted him about it, and he was like, oh, did he? I didn't even notice. That's how Rogan is just hidden from the world. He has no information about this. He got in trouble for everything he says. I love Rogan. Rogan's great. He's a fucking, like, an idiot though. You know? And I think that's like a good thing. He's a comedian. Don't forget, he used to force people to eat antelope ballsack on a TV show. He would get fat people from Wisconsin to run away from police dogs. They would shove bacon in their back pocket and make them run across a football field while police dogs chased them. And if they happened to get the furthest, they got the most points, and at the end of the episode, they won a box of Cheerios or something. Fear factor. Cover your face in lizards. Fear factor. That's who Joe Rogan is. And he's an interesting guy, and he gets on scientists. But at the end of the day, he's just a comedian who tells jokes about fucking his balls. And so he's funny. So he is, like, he's a fucking dim guy, you know? And I'm a retard too. I mean this. So it's like, I know he's a celebrity. And I know he's famous. But he's not the Messiah. Who gives a fuck what dumb Joe Rogan has to say? Right? Who gives a fuck? Does he have to be perfect all the time? What do you want him to do? Never talk on his show? Is he never... You just want a scripted show? Someone says, I think Trump said he wanted to debate Biden on Rogan's podcast. He's still insane, the fear factor guy. Yeah, he's just a fear factor guy. And then sometimes he has smart people on who talk about science, and he just goes, whoa, do you think a monkey would ever be able to play the piano? Like, wait, what? Someone comes up with some life feelings. You know? It is what it is. What did we talk about? John Mulaney. That's another one. Oh, Paul Mooney died. R.I.P. Shout out to the legend. I don't really know Paul Mooney's stuff. I know he, I think he might have fucked Richard Pryor's son. Maybe. Is that like news? I don't know much about him. Rest in peace. Apparently he's a legend. I know him as a legend. I know him as Richard Pryor, who's my favorite comic ever. I think Richard Pryor's the best comic ever. So if you're Paul Mooney and you're Richard Pryor's friend and opener and all this type of stuff, you know, he's obviously got a lot of fucking good shit out there. As far as I can tell, though, most of his good stuff wasn't captured. He used to be this guy who would go on late on these shows. He would do like a 12:30 show. Someone would be in town and do a weekend of shows at Caroline's, and then he would book his own show at midnight. So I don't know who's like been around a long time. So it could be Tracy Morgan. Yo, I'm at Caroline's all weekend. I'm gonna get you pregnant. So Tracy Morgan could be there all weekend doing his shows, but his last show would finish at 11:30. Paul Mooney would go on at 12 and just do 3 hours of just rambling. But apparently it was the best stuff in the world there. And it was different because when Chappelle does it now and all these other guys do it, they're kind of famous. Paul Mooney used to do it apparently back in the day. He wasn't famous. He was just some guy who would go on last and just talk forever. So maybe the best stuff that he ever did was probably never captured. But if you have anything by Paul Mooney, if you were a fan, please fucking DM me. Send that shit to me. I'd love to fucking see you. Because, I don't know. I've never witnessed this shit. Alright? Guys, we're going to switch over to the Patreon now. We'll play that Ari Shaffir, Louis J. Gomez clip from last night's show. Great show, by the way. If anyone was in New Jersey last night for Louis J. Gomez and friends, thanks so much for coming out. It was amazing. It was a fucking great show. I know I said this on Twitter and everyone's like, what are you, sucking Lewis's dick? I was like, yes, I'm sucking Lewis's dick right now. Lewis put on a fucking great show. If you're in that area, go check it out. It's only every month. It was the best. Those Legion of Skanks fans are fucking the best. I'd appreciate it if you guys, you know, were as good as them. You know, right? Because I know you guys want me to be as funny as fucking Matt and Shane and Comptown and Legion of Skanks. You're always hitting me up going, hey, be funnier. You know what? Be as good as their fans. How about that? How about you get a little bit of fucking homework for once? Right? You guys need to be as good as Legion of Skanks fans. Maybe a little bit more diverse. Maybe not as fat. Few less beards, not as fat. And maybe a chick or a black dude would be great. Maybe an Indian dude. An Indian girl would be crazy. That would be great for me. That would be great for my image if I could get a little bit of diversity in my fan base. Until then, I'm happy to take the white man's money. We're gonna head over to the page, as they say. It's only $1. This will be on the $1 club, and then obviously the $5 a month gets the extra episode a week. So for $1 you get a little bit of bonus stuff, and for the $5 you get the extra episode. I think it's a good little range of stuff. All right. So shout out to that show. Follow Luis Gomez, and this Friday. So tomorrow I'm opening for Lewis in Connecticut. If anyone lives in Connecticut, come check that out. All right. Give me 5 minutes. I'll see you over at the Patreon, guys. All right. Everyone say goodbye. Everyone say goodbye in the chat, because it seems it's always weird if you don't say goodbye. All right. Someone said they recommend this podcast to a few blacks. All right. Thanks. Let's not go crazy. All right. Appreciate it, guys. I'll hit you with some music. Good luck.